Bow, 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 bow. G'day, battlers! And today we're going to be going over the Aurora Challenge, my winning run through the Aurora Challenge. So, if you've never heard of the Aurora Challenge before, man, it's hard to say. This is a little challenge held by the Australis Discord, which is the place to be for all of you Aussie and New Zealand battlers out there. It's just a great place that, you know, there's lobbies, there's mega tournaments, there's everything you need. It's all there. So this little tournament, this little challenge was basically, there were 8 gym leaders, 4 Elite Four, and then a champion. And you had to beat all of them to reach the Hall of Fame. So each of the gym leaders had an entire team of 6 Pokemon set up with 1 typing. Then the Elite Four had a team of 6 that was made up of 2 typings. So for example, DrTrotter was one of the gym leaders of one of the Elite Four, and he had Skarmory as his mascot Pokemon. And so his team was entirely consisting of Steel and Flying Pokemon. And then there was and the champion had a, you know, Open Great League team of 6, and it was a best of 5, whereas all the other ones were best of 3. So it is going to be a little bit different going in with the Aurora Challenge this month. So it's a month-to-month thing. There was this is the Aurora Challenge from July. The Aurora Challenge for August is going to be a little bit different, and I'm actually one of the Elite Four. So if you do want to battle me, that'll be one way to do that too. Yeah, that's kind of the challenge basically, and I'll talk about how this month's challenge is a little bit different at the end, because it will be a little bit different. Let's just get into the challenge. First gym leader was the Ice gym leader. And yeah, on the left is the Ice Gym team, and this was 200% Gary. And on the right is my team. So yeah, Stabber8 has already noticed that little Pikachu with the ash hat in the right. That's my mascot. I'm bringing him in through this whole thing. That wasn't a rule. That wasn't like you didn't have to have a mascot Pokemon. I just wanted to do it. So it was blind. So I made my team of 6, and then I gave it to 200% Gary, and then he gave me his team, and that's how the challenge kind of works. So I brought in Ferrothorn, Registeel, Melmetal, Victreebel, Vigoroth, and Pikachu. And then the Ice team there is Jinx, Celio, Frostlass, Regice, Lapras, and Alolan Ninetales. So let's get into the battles. Going in, and we've got Ferrothorn up against Lapras. So this is obviously a really good matchup for us. So we're going to stay in basically as long as 200% Gary lets us stay in. We're kind of ready to switch, but it looks like he's deciding not to switch. Maybe he's got 2 things weak to Ferrothorn in the back. Obviously, I have stacked the teams a little bit more I brought Pokemon specifically to counter it. Steve is Ash confirmed. Yeah, so we shared up the Skull Bash, which is definitely a nice little block there. And even though the defense is buffed, we're still going to get some charge moves off and bring this Lapras down, which is definitely going to be nice. And Joel in the chat too. And actually letting that Power Whip go through, so keeping one of his shields for later on. Lucky for us, we actually get this Power Whip off before another charge move comes through from Gary's end, which I definitely think one was about to come through. And he does let it go down, keeping some shield for whatever he's got in the back later on. In comes the Alolan Ninetales. This is also not a great situation for the Alolan Ninetales to be in, just because the Steel typing is going to resist that charm. So we go for the Thunder, which I don't actually know if that's the right move. I think I was just going for it because I felt like Grass might be resisted, but it actually gets that last shield. And then we were thinking about switching out, but there wasn't really any point. May as well just let Ferrothorn go down, bring in Registeel. Registeel obviously in a really good spot up against that Alolan Ninetales. Again, Flash Cannon going to be super effective. And then in comes the Registeel, in comes the Reg Ice, which Focus Blast obviously going to do a ton of damage. Bring in Vigoroth just to clean up and kind of soak this charge move from the Reg Ice. And then even if this takes out Vigoroth, which it didn't, Registeel is going to be able to come back in and finish off that Alolan Ninetales no matter what. So really just happy to let Vigoroth go down at this point, because a Registeel is going to clean it all up. Yeah, Power Whip would have been better, yeah. So, you know, I guess at least I was in a pretty good spot regardless. So, yeah, Flash Cannon, going to do some lovely damage up against this Fairy Ice typing all the Ninetales. Goodbye, and that is game 1 down. So, going into game 2, we still lead the Ferrothorn, but up against a Regice now, which is a little bit of a worse situation. So, I'm thinking that maybe we throw this Power Whip and switch out. I'm thinking that's what I might perhaps do. But actually, I'll also, I should have set up the link for the Aurora Australis Discord in the Nightbot settings, but we bring in that Pikachu as the sack swap, hitting that Earthquake from the Regice. Pikachu really doing some work there, bringing back in the Ferrothorn, which, you know, maybe we could have brought in the Registeel, but because we would have been switch locked, we were like, hey, we'll bring back in Ferrothorn. We're not in a terrible spot anyway. Really holding on to the shields though, so I should mention now that I'm actually going to be using Pikachu in every single one of these gym leader battles. Literally, or up against every gym leader. Not in every battle, but, you know, like here I've brought it in game 2. I didn't bring any game 1. So shield up that Earthquake, which just keep this Ferrothorn around, because we do want to get that switch advantage. Not that we can do too much with it, because, you know, we've got a Ferrothorn and a Registeel, that's kind of hit, but we do want to take this thing out. Don't want to get our Registeel in the back hit by an Earthquake. So that's kind of what's going through our head, I think. And then going to eat this Earthquake, which isn't going to take us out. Going to get to the Power Whip. Oh, we didn't go for the Power Whip and switching out into Jinx. So we're actually going to switch out into Registeel. Going to get a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of damage off with this energy that we're farming up. We're going to be able to tank any charge move that comes in from the Jinx. It is an Avalanche. All good. Farm up a little bit of extra energy and then throw this Flash Cannon, which is going to be super effective because of that Ice typing. Takes out the Jinx, not the tankiest Pokemon. There's a reason that you don't see too much of Jinx around. Going straight for this Focus Blast now up against the Lapras. But we don't get it off, so we're a little bit worried at this point, just a little bit, because that Surf going to take us down a little bit. So we decided to farm up a little bit more energy because there was no reason throwing it straight away. Throw the Focus Blast. We do have that Ferrothorn in the back with energy, and that Regice has not much health in the back. So we're kind of hoping to maybe... actually, that was a complete accident. I did not try to do that. I was thinking that maybe I could like get to the Power Whip before Charge Move came through. That isn't how it played out though, so now I'm actually in a really rough spot, which this should have been an easy win, and I have made it so that it is definitely not an easy win. So take that out. In comes the Regice, and it's a bit of a battle of the lock-ons here, and we survive one lock-on away from KO. Able to take out that game, and that is Gym Leader 1 down. 200% Gary taken down, and we get the Ice Badge. So going up against Gym 2. Unfortunately, I didn't have the Gym Leaders' names here. So they will come up when you get into the battles. But yeah, I don't have the names here, so I don't know all of them off the top of my head. But we are up against the Psychic Gym here. So we've got Alolan Raichu, Gardevoir, Hypno, Medicham, Slowbro, Deoxys, and then we've got Dusclops, Umbreon, Typhlosion, Drapion, Marowak, and that Pikachu coming in clutch. So let's get into the battle. Anyway, going in with Dusclops up against the Gardevoir. This is not a bad matchup for us at all. Going to do a nice chunk of damage just because Hex is going to do a fair chunk against that Shadow Gardevoir. Getting to these Shadow punches pretty quick. Charge moves are going to be pretty slow coming from that Gardevoir. So burning one shield. I'm expecting that they might decide to burn both shields on the Shadow Gardevoir. Keep a whole lot of energy to get onto the next Pokemon. Keep switch advantage. And yeah, just do tons of damage with Charm. But does burn both shields. Dusclops definitely going to go down here. And then we can kind of bring in whichever one. We decided to bring in the Drapion though, just because we decided to keep Alolan Marowak for a little bit later. I was kind of considering letting the charge move come through from Gardevoir, but it's just so much damage that it was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So in comes the Defense Deoxys, and now we're in a really good spot because we still have a shield. We're going to be able to shield up this Rock Slide and then get to the Shadow Ball to take out that Deoxys. At least I hope we are. Yeah, we get to the Shadow Ball. This is definitely going to do a massive chunk to that Deoxys with that Psychic typing. And bada bing, bada boom, goodbye Deoxys, out of the room. And in comes Slowbro with Water Gun. So this was definitely unexpected and a little bit worse for the Alolan Marowak. I was definitely thinking that it was going to be a Confusion Slowbro, and I think that was the whole idea. But yeah, definitely caught me off guard. But because I was in such a good spot there, I was able to get the Shadow Ball off, take out the Slowbro, and take game 1. So going into game 2, we have an even better lead with Dusclops up against Medicham. Going to be just walling this guy. Like, there isn't really much that Medicham can do at this point. Farm up extra energy and then go for this Shadow Punch before a charge move comes through from the Medicham. You know, just get it off, put a little bit of pressure onto the Medicham. Sometimes people are more inclined to shield after they've farmed up some energy and haven't thrown it yet. Obviously, I mean, a Shadow Punch isn't going to finish off that Medicham, so it's not like he was in too rough of a spot. Didn't really have to decide to shield then and there. Could have shielded a later charge move anyway. But do get this charge move off before our Shadow Punch goes through. It is just an Ice Punch though, so we're still sitting pretty. Get this Shadow Punch off. We're almost to another Shadow Punch too, so it doesn't really matter too much if it does go through or not. Burn the shield, all good. And now switching out into Gardevoir, so we decided to switch out into Pikachu, which is definitely ill-advised. We almost got to that charge move, and we were going for the Thunder Punch when we should have just gone for the Wild Charge because we got to it at the same time. But yeah, I think that was the wrong move. I should have saved that Pikachu swap in for later on when it might have worked as a better sack swap or been able to get a charge move off, not against a Shadow Pokemon that is doing massive damage with Charm. So we do shield up here though, just so we know that we're going to be able to take out this Gardevoir with one more quick move, take it out. And then in comes the Deoxys, so they do still have a shield here. So we decided to go straight for the Shadow Ball, hoping that they maybe think it's a bait, just because Alolan Marowak is in a little bit of a bad spot, just because it doesn't get hit by a Rock Slide. And the bait succeeds. Switching to Dusclops, and we tried to get the Shadow Punch off before a charge move comes through, but it didn't quite work out that way. So we decided to let Dusclops go down, bring in Alolan Marowak. And this is actually, I should have mentioned, this is a Hex Alolan Marowak. So I think this was before the buff came through too. It was just because Hex was a little bit better up against against that Psychic team. So burning the shield on that Deoxys and then swapping out. So got some energy on that Deoxys. We get this Bone Club off though, so we still have that shield that we're going to be able to save for whatever charge move the Deoxys gets off. Take out the Medicham, in comes Deoxys, gets the charge move off, we still have the shield, so we'll take out the Deoxys and then we'll just be able to get one more Hex off and that will finish off the Deoxys and that will get us Gym Badge number 2. So going into the game 3, Gym Leader 3, who is the Water Gym Leader, ptmicky. He's got Whiscash, Kingdra with that Shiny Flex, Mantine, Lapras, Azumarill, Shiny Flex, and Ludicolo with the Shiny Flex. So a lot of stuff going on. We've got Ferrothorn, Galvantula, Cresselia, with the Grass Knot, I believe. Yeah, it has to be because I only have one Cresselia in Great League and it is the Grass Knot one. Ludicolo, Alolan Raichu, and the Pikachu. So we've got a bit of a Alolan Raichu, Pikachu combo here going on. Let's see how we do. Going in, and we've got Galvantula up against the Ludicolo, which is a pretty good matchup for us with that Bug Electric typing up against the Grass Water typing. So just, you know, double win on the typing basically. So Galvantula going to do a ton of damage with this Discharge. ptmicky deciding to shield. Razorleafs are doing a fair chunk of damage just because Galvantula is pretty squishy. We do get 2 discharges off before charge move comes through, which is definitely putting us in a pretty good spot here. Burning both shields straight away, so Ludicolo probably going to be able to farm us down. Yeah, we just don't get to that discharge, which is unfortunate. And then in comes the Cresselia, who we did decide to go for the Psycho Cut, keep the energy of the Grass Knot. We actually only have 1 charge move. And yeah, it is going a bit quick here because we've sped it up a lot because there is a lot to go through. This is an hour of battles, over an hour of battle. So there is so much. This was such a big challenge. You know, it was 1 battle per day, which I actually didn't mention earlier. So yeah, Power Whip, taking out that Ludicolo. We have 2 shields to 0 now, so we're obviously sitting in a really good spot here. In comes the Kingdra. This is kind of reminiscent of what cup was that? When it was Timeless Cup? No, because Timeless was the stuff. Was it Timeless? Whatever cup it was when there was the Ferrothorns and Kingdras, gets the Octazooka debuff and catches this Power Whip onto the next Pokemon. So really good for the opponent. Although that was a Whiscash, so actually that's actually. That's really a good spot for me, really. Get this next Power Whip off just to take out the Whiscash before another charge move came through. Well, before the first Mud Bomb came through. Switch into Cresselia, get this Grass Knot off, and clear away that Octazooka debuff off of the Ferrothorn. Does a nice chunk of damage onto that Kingdra. And then, yeah, not going to let us get to another Grass Knot. Although we can shield up here and get another one. Yeah, we do decide to. And it is an Octazooka, no debuff. Oh, wait, was that a debuff? I think I missed it. Well, we get the Grass off. Yeah, Forest Cup, thanks. That was the one. In comes Ludicolo into game 3 now. Ludicolo versus Ludicolo. Got the mirror match going on. Is this a 3rd game? Did I lose one? I'm completely. Did I just miss the end of that last battle? I think I might have. Yeah, I don't know. No, surely you finished off the Kingdra. Or was this our first battle? That was our first battle. In comes the Pikachu. Get a shield off of that Ludicolo, which is nice. Bring in the Ferrothorn, and we were running Thunder again because he's got that water typing. We were like, hey, Thunder probably going to do a little bit more for us in this matchup than the Power Whip. The Flash Cannon, sorry. So farm up a ton of energy and get this Power Whip off before a charge move comes through from the Ludicolo. Really struggling to speak here. Take out the Ludicolo. And in comes the Azumarill. So, you know, I was going to say that's kind of an interesting switch in, but, you know, that was my brain going faster than my mouth going faster than my brain. As I said, as I've just shown, because they're obviously a Water Gym Leader. They're not going to have anything that is great against the Ferrothorn. So, shoot up the Ice Beam just to kind of make sure we can win this out. We've charged up to a Power Whip now. In comes the Ludicolo, just trying to take out the Azumarill. In comes the Whiscash now, so we go for the Energy Ball now. We've taken out a tons of that Whiscash's health. We just wanted to get this off to take that last shield off of ptmicky before Ludicolo got taken out, basically. So Whiscash does have a little bit of energy here. 1 Mud Bomb, unfortunately, isn't going to take us out, though. So a little bit of lag there, and we do just take out the Whiscash. And then take out the Azumarill too. So GG's there, and we do have a photo here with the Electric Gym Leader. So we've got Minun, Lantern, Raichu with the Santa hat, so kind of competing against our Pikachu with the Ash hat, Blitzel, Shiny Magneton, and Luxray. So definitely going to be an interesting one. We brought in Dragonair, Stunfisk, Whiscash, Venusaur, Toxicroak, and our mascot Pikachu. So going in, we've got Stunfisk up against a Galarian Stunfisk up against the Lantern, which is a pretty, it's kind of an iffy matchup because if we land an Earthquake, then obviously, you know, we're in a great spot. But the Water Guns are doing a lot of damage to us in the meantime, so yeah, we'll see how this plays out. So we throw the first Earthquake and it does get a shield. We decide to switch into Dragonair, hoping to force the switch out so that we can land the Venusaur onto that lantern later on, and it did actually work out for us. They switched into Raichu. Turns out it is a Charmchu though, so that is actually really going to hurt our Dragonair, which I definitely wasn't expecting, but it did go all right for us. I think we're going to bring in the Stunfisk here to get some energy up, because I mean, the best weapon that Stunfisk has up against that Lantern is just landing the Earthquakes. It is hard to shield up the Brick Break there. I don't know if that was necessary. I don't know if it really needed to shield, but I kind of wanted to maximize my chances to get 2 Earthquakes off, which again, it's kind of a dumb idea because I've got Venusaur in the back, but I guess, yeah, I don't know. We go for the Rock Slide here, go for the Shield Bait. Does get the shield, so that was a success there. And I think we're going to go straight for the Earthquake here, which we do get off. So Blitzel is a little bit scary because it's got Flame Charge. That would be really bad up against the Venusaur, for example. Take out the Blitzel though, and then trying to switch out into the Venusaur, just because Venusaur's going to have a bit of a better time. We decide to stay in, not kind of show our hand a little bit to go into the next battle, a little bit sneakier, get the Earthquake off, and do take out the Lantern, and that is GG. So going into game 2, where we are going to bring in that Pikachu, so we've got the same lead matchup, so we'll see if it plays out any different, if we go for a bait, if they don't shield and think it's a bait. So we do go straight for the Earthquake. We'll see if a shield does come up. If it doesn't, then that's going to be a pretty big step in our direction. Holy dooly, taking out the Lantern. That is such a massive step forward for us. We're in an incredible position here, because basically now we have 3 Pokemon. 3 Pokemon and Pikachu versus 2. We just had to switch into the Pikachu and get this Wild Charge off, just because we knew Blitzel was going to take a little bit of time to charge up. So landed the Wild Charge, which actually does a really nice chunk of damage. This isn't a maxed out Pikachu, by the way. We did kind of give Blitzel a chance to charge up the energy, but yeah, this isn't a maxed out Pikachu, so, you know, if it was maxed out, Wild Charge might do extra damage, you never know, but because we've double debuffed our defense for 2 different Wild Charges, went down there, bring in the Venusaur, just because Lantern's kind of out, so the main reason that Venusaur was around is kind of gone, and then the Fire Charge move from the Blitzel was definitely a little bit scary, and we know we can kind of tank charge moves from the Minun, so we're going to tank another one here, we know we can. And then we'll get this Frenzy Plant off after a little bit more, just one more Vine Whip farming. So yeah, through goes the Frenzy Plant. Going to be able to take out this Minun if it does go through, which it does not. So, still got 3 out of the 4 shields still on the field. So I think we're going to shield up here, because we know we can get to another Frenzy Plant, which will definitely threaten that Minun. Kind of thinking that yep, there's the switch out. So thinking a switch out was going to come in, but even if there was a switch out and catching the Frenzy Plant, I was kind of happy to let it go through, just because that Blitzel was on low health, and we didn't really want to get hit by the energy from the Blitzel either. But let it come through. It is the Flame Charge, takes us right out. We try to go straight for the Rock Slide, but unfortunately their charge move goes through first, so we decide to shield up here. Shield out the Flame Charge. We're in a little bit of a rougher spot here, so we go for the Rock Slide. Don't farm all the way, hoping to try and get some Mud Shots off, but unfortunately we hit too many bubbles, so yeah, it wasn't going to happen. And then get this Rock Slide off, which hopefully will finish off that Minun. I hope. Hey, we take out the Minun, and that is GG's there. So what's that? Is that 4 badges now? So going up against the Dark Gym Leader now, who's got Alolan Mark, Umbreon, Shiftry, Sableye, Skuntank, and the Scrafty. And we've got Wigglytuff, Registeel, Zweilous, Vigoroth, Toxicroak, and Azumarill. So going in, we've got a just brilliant lead matchup with Wigglytuff versus Sableye. Could not have gotten any better. So looks like he's going to be able to, yeah, just going to go straight all the way down, getting charge move off, which we know we can tank. So we'll let this Power Jam come through. Going to do a chunk of damage to Wigglytuff, but they did not want to give up switch advantage. So in comes the Skuntank. So definitely a worse spot for Wigglytuff. We decided to switch out into Toxicroak just because we weren't too worried about anything to really threaten Toxicroak. And then we've obviously still got Registeel in the back. Registeel is going to be good up against that Skuntank also. So yeah, we weren't too worried about bringing out the Toxicroak. Shield up the Power Up Punch. And then we kind of almost were able to farm all the way down. I'm hoping we didn't click the Mud Bomb there. That would definitely be unfortunate. It is another Power Up Punch. That's all good. Able to counter all the way down. And then I think we're going to go straight Mud Bombs onto this Skuntank. That is going to do a whole lot of super effective damage. Kind of forcing the shield to protect that. Yeah, forcing the shield to protect that Skuntank. Can we get to another Mud Bomb? Not quite, but that's all good because the Skuntank, I mean, actually, yeah, we can shield here, get the Mud Bomb off. Even if we didn't, you know, we're obviously in a really good spot here. That is why they've actually changed the rules, as we're going to talk about a little later. So the Aurora Challenge is going to be more difficult this month. It's not going to be as easy as it is here, where you can kind of bring 6 Pokemon to counter their typing. You are going to have to bring one team for the entire Gym Leader set, one team for the entire Elite Four set, team of 12, there's bands. I'll talk about it all at the end of the video, don't you worry. Or you can skip there at any point if you decide you've had enough of the battles, you just want to learn how the Aurora Challenge is going to work. Yep, there's our data limit coming up, but it's all good because we've got a data bank, folks. We've got plenty in the bank. So I'm going to shield up this charge move so we can get the Mud Bomb off. Bada bing, bada boom. And then counter all the way down. Actually, yeah, counter all the way down after we shield up. And then get this Mud Bomb off onto the Scrafty, although we almost didn't. And it's not going to do much damage anyway, so, you know, it's not the best thing to land in the world. It's just some chip damage onto the Scrafty. The counters almost added up to as much damage as the Mud Bomb alone. Switch into Wigglytuff, and in comes that Alolan Mark straight away. So we bring in that Raichu, go straight for this Wild Charge, knowing it's going to do a ton of damage to that Alolan Mark. And, oh, no, I got the shield there, so that's kind of still a win in my books. Like, Pikachu forcing that shield off the Alolan Mark. It does have a lot of energy now though, so we're kind of in a rough spot. Maybe we threw ourselves under the bus a bit. Maybe we should have tried to catch a charge move onto the Pikachu. It is a great thing that we did shoot up the Gunk Shot though, because that would have done tons of damage. We do get this Ice Beam off onto the Alolan Mark, which is definitely really good for us because that charge move was coming through so fast. In comes the Scrafty, hoping that we can counter all the way down, but a charm all the way down, but we're so low on health now, we're kind of a little bit worried. It's a Power Punch. Can we charm down? It's a tie. Pikachu just got his first competitive tie in this series, so definitely in a little bit of a rougher spot now. So going into game 3, but we've got a Toxicroak up against the Skuntank now, and howdy Rocky Rocks 2006, how's it going? Let the Crunch come through because we know we can tank it, and then go for the Mud Bomb because we weren't going to be able to counter all the way down before another charge move came through. So yeah, shield, and he lets it go through, keeping both shields. Sableye coming in, probably going to farm up a ton of energy, just going to Shadow Claw us all the way down, burn a shield here maybe, doesn't actually have to. Yeah, it doesn't decide to. Sableye going to have tons of energy ready to go onto the next Pokemon. We don't even get another charge move off, so really in a good spot here. Wigglytuff going to do tons of damage to that Sableye, but still going to be able to pack a punch. We don't shield the Foul Play successfully. He switches out into the Alolan Muck, and we bring in the Registeel. Registeel just trying to finish this thing off. We don't really have to shield any of these charge moves. If it was an Acid Spray, which now that it's shown Dark Pulse and Gunk Shot, we know that there's no Acid Spray on the table. If there was an Acid Spray, we might be in some level of trouble. Nah, not really. We still had 2 shields, so we were probably in a good spot regardless. But we can almost lock on down here. I think we're going to shield this up, just in case it was a Gunk Shot, and then maybe try and lock on down. Yeah, not going to risk it because we were definitely going to get hit by another charge move. Alolan Mark charges up pretty quick, so burning the first shield off there. Bringing the Wigglytuff to just eliminate that Sableye, which definitely still had energy. In comes that Muck and able to take it out with some energy still to go. So going into the normal gym, we've got Obstagoon, Licky, Wigglytuff, Bibarel, Linoone, and Noctowl ready to fight. And I was definitely a little bit worried about this gym leader, I think. We've got Azumarill, Altaria, Deoxys, Vigoroth, Venusaur, and that Pikachu mascot. So yeah, I was a little bit worried about that Noctowl. I guess I kind of wanted to land the Azumarill, or even the Pikachu maybe. Maybe we'll see some of that action. But going in, we've got the Venusaur up against the Wigglytuff. So this is usually a pretty decent matchup for us. Because of our poison typing, we don't care about Charm, and then Sludge Bomb would do a ton back. So in comes the Linoone, and that actually lets us switch into Vigoroth. So doing tons of damage with this counter. Just so much. Hey, and we're redeeming the emotes too. Actually, I should also mention that we do have a little challenge there in the... that you can donate your channel points to make me power up a Primeape, but howdy Final Flash too. So in comes the Wigglytuff, so we kind of just want to let Venusaur kind of come back in, hopefully when Wigglytuff has a little less health, hopefully not too much energy, because we do want to be able to take it out without having to burn a shield, but depending on whether they shield this Body Slam, we'll see if that does eventuate. Taking out the Wigglytuff, so in comes the Noctowl, and Noctowl just trying to, I guess he knows that Noctowl has a good matchup up against the Venusaur. So we bring in the Deoxys, and we're definitely looking a little bit rough here. We switch to try and catch the charge move because we want to keep Deoxys as healthy as possible, kind of maximize the chance that we can land a charge move at some point. We get 1 shield with the Sludge Bomb, which is great. We've definitely given them a little bit of a chance to farm up energy, and it looks like there was a little bit of lag there, so they would have only... I don't think they got too much energy. 1 Sky Attack sweeps us away, and now we just have to get to another Thunderbolt after this one gets presumably shielded. And yes, this is only a single move Deoxys. I do have 2 moves on it now. I don't know if it's going to get a second move in the course of this stream video, but yeah, we'll find out in a bit, I guess. But Venusaur up against the Bibarel, which is a fantastic lead. And I'm expecting a switch out, but I guess he's getting some energy first, or just doesn't want to lose switch advantage, which is a bit of a... I mean, it happens a bit in these gym leader battles where they kind of know that they're not in a great spot, so they just don't switch out. Letting the B-barrel go down, so going to bring in that Noctowl. We decide to switch into that Pikachu, forcing the switch out into Wigglytuff. So that's kind of great for us, because it lets us kind of realign our Pokemon, I guess, and keep our Venusaur away from the Noctowl. If they decided to leave the Noctowl in against the Pikachu and try and take us out that way, they might have had a better chance to kind of force us to make a poor decision, basically. Like, you know, if we brought in Venusaur, that's obviously bad. If we brought in Deoxys, they would be able to switch out into Wigglytuff, and we'd be switch locked. So in comes that Noctowl, and we do get the Sludge Bomb coming off here. And bada bing, bada boom, takes out half of that health, letting it go through, which is actually, I guess they thought it was going to be a Frenzy Plant shield bait, because they do have 2 shields to try and burn here. So at this point, we can probably almost just double shield and then counter down the Noctowl. Even though it's got that flying typing, the normal typing is not doing it any favors, and I don't think we're going to be able to get 3 Thunderbolts off to force the shield off this Noctowl. So yeah, we're going to shield up the Sky Attack and then just hope to counter down. I'm pretty sure we can tank a Sky Attack anyway, so even if one came through, yeah, we would have been able to tank it. So that is GG's there. So going into the Fairy Gym, I've got Gardevoir, Granbull, Mawile, Togekiss, Azumarill, and Alolan Ninetales up against our Azumarill, Skuntank, Registeel, Galarian Stunfisk, Alolan Muck, and Pikachu. So I kind of had a feeling, I was wondering how many fairy moves there were going to be. I was thinking that it might be Confusion Gardevoir, Snarl Granbull, Firefang Mawile, Charm Togekiss, Bubble Azumarill, and then Powder Snow or Charm Alolan Ninetales. I was thinking Powder Snow. So overall, I was kind of expecting one Charmer. That was kind of my thinking. So I definitely picked my Pokemon kind of expecting that. So up against the Sygmassacre, and we've got Alolan Muck up against that Mawile, which isn't the best spot for us to be in. The Firefang definitely going to do a ton of damage to us, and we actually brought in double poison moveset, the Acid Spray and Sludge Wave. I think that's what we brought in, expecting some more fairy action going on, so we decided to get that energy, get out of there, bring in Azumarill, kind of forcing them to shield up, and because we have the player off Azumarill, you're in a really good spot up against this, up against the opposing Azumarill. Hey, an Inferno Oz with the bits! Shout out to you, my friend. I think I'm going to put something to do with the bits at the end of these YouTube videos. Like, I've got a little slide thanking the R44 Maze for the gifted subs, and also to Sadie Poo for making that Twitch emote that Rocky Rocks used before. So I think I'll have something to do with bits at the end of all of my YouTube videos as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, I guess. But yeah, going in and getting another player off, oh, hopefully, yeah, lag. Let us get this player off too. Bada bing, bada boom. And I can't actually see. I need to refresh my stream, actually. Bring in the Alolan Muck. I think we're going for the Acid Spray here, trying to get a shield out. Yeah, go for the Acid Spray. We do get a shield, which is kind of fantastic for us, because we can actually tank whatever this is, probably. Yeah, not a Hydro Pump, so we can tank the Ice Beam. I was definitely hopeful, but Poison Jab all the way down. We still have 2 shields. We're in a pretty good spot here. Hoping to maybe get a charge move off onto the Ninetales, but no such luck there. But all good, because we still have Skuntank. Skuntank getting these Poison Jabs off onto the Ninetales. Shield up the charge move, and gonna keep poison jabbing. I think we're gonna, oh no, we weren't gonna farm all the way down. Go for the crunch, and that should take out the Alolan Ninetales. Oh, actually, yeah, does take it out. And then in comes the Mawile in the back. Bring back in the Azumarill, because we kind of want to get to that Hydro Pump, because we weren't sure if Skuntank was going to do enough. Shield up a Power Punch, which definitely hurts, but we're just hoping that we can get to the Hydro Pump. We knew that, we were kind of thinking that we weren't going to get there, so go for the Play Rough just to whittle it down. And does whittle it down a lot. Are we going to be... We're able to bubble down, and that is GG's there. I'll actually respond to I'll pause after this gym battle and respond to the chat. So we've got Skuntank up against that Snarl Granbull. So definitely not a lot of fairy action going on. And I'll comment on that at the end too. We've landed this, we're going to throw this Sludge Bomb straight away onto the Granbull. Even if it was, we should have gone for the Crunch, because Crunch would have been able to KO the Granbull. It would have put as much pressure onto the Granbull, and he would have put just as much pressure on. So I really should have just gone for the Crunch. Definitely a mistake on my end. Does land the close combat, but that's all good. The defense was debuffed, so we can land one more Poison Jab and take it out. And then in comes the Togekiss, and it isn't a Charm Togekiss. So they did not bring a single Charm user. I think they might have actually had not a single fairy. Yeah, I think they had. I think I'm remembering right. They had no fairy type move at all on their all fairy team, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because you know you're going to bring a bunch of stuff that's not weak to fairies, so it kind of makes sense to not bring, yeah, stuff that is going to be weak to fairy damage. So kind of a big brain plot on their part. going for that thing. So shield up, and then I think we're just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump here, because Mawile definitely in a rough spot here. We actually go for the Play Rough. We know we're in a pretty good spot here. We should have, I don't know why we didn't go for all the bubbles there. Oh, I know, because I forgot to switch into Pikachu this battle. So I was like, oh wait, I didn't get Pikachu out here. So get the Iron Head. Now we're able to switch to the Pikachu and able to take out that Mawile. So that is GG's there. And yeah, let's get into this final gym battle, shall we? So up against the Poison Gym Leader, Beedrill, Haunter, Venusaur, Drapion, Toxicroak, and Alolan Muck. Up against our team of Skarmory, Bronzong, Wormadam, Trash Wormadam, Frostlass, Toxicroak, and our big old mascot Pikachu. So let's see if Pikachu can do some work. And we're still not even halfway through these battles. There is a ton to go just in this last 8th gym leader, and then the 4 Elite Four and the champion. Because we don't keep on straight winning, to say the least. So Skarmory up against the Haunter. We decided to switch it out into Bronzong. Kind of wanted to keep in the Skarmory a little bit for later on, I think, for the Beedrill or the Venusaur. So we land this. We go for the Bulldoze up against the Alolan Muck, which is definitely would be a massive to land, which we land it. And we get just one more confusion, and we're going to take out that Alolan Muck. So we decided to shield. Dark Pulse is going to do a ton of damage to Bronzong, so we decided to just go, hey, we'll win the switch advantage, one more confusion and take it out. In comes the Drapion though, so I think we're going to try and go straight for the Bulldoze again. We actually decided to go for the Psyshock, which I don't think that was the right play, just because I don't think we're going to be able to get to another charge move. It does burn the shield though, so I guess it was the right play, because, you know, even if it was the Bulldoze, we just would have wasted even more energy. We would have thought that, you know, maybe we could have got maybe got another Psyshock off if only we did the other move, but we couldn't have, so it didn't really matter too much. Bring in the Skarmory, go for this Sky Attack here, but they do get the charge move off first, so it's definitely, we're in a bit of a rough spot here actually. So it is a Crunch, which is going to do a ton of damage to the Skarmory. Go for this Sky Attack, and hoping this is going to take out the Drapion. And it doesn't quite. One more. Oh, actually, I think that might have been a switch out, but we also switched out into Trash Wormadam. Trash Wormadam, obviously doing a pretty good. You saw how much damage Confusion was doing. We actually brought in double Confusion users, so really punishing those poison types. In comes the Drapion. Doesn't care about Confusion, but it was just so weak that we were able to take it down. So going into game 2, we've got Toxicroak up against Haunter, which isn't as good of a matchup. If we land a Mud Bomb, it would have been kind of decent. And I'm wondering if, I think I tried to catch a charge move onto Pikachu there. I was going to say that maybe I should have gone for a Mud Bomb and then swap out, but yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. We ate some of the energy of the Haunter, but also kind of gave them the opportunity to farm more. And now we're switched off with Trash Wormadam here when Toxicroak is in the back waiting. So I think that was a bad play on my part. You know, just trying to get this Pikachu action going. It just didn't work out for me there. So Trash Wormadam in an okay spot up against the Drapion. Crunch is going to do a fair chunk of damage, and we don't want to get hit by another one. Confusion doing, you know, not much at all. It's super effective to the poison. Can be resisted by the dark typing. So yeah, it's kind of just not doing heaps. Lets that Iron Head go through though, which I kind of thought was surprising, but they've got Alolan Muck in the back, so we switch into Toxicroak because our switch time was up. We should have, I think we were farming up heaps of energy in case the Haunter swapped in, so we could just like kind of pack on the Mud Bombs, put some pressure on, get rid of the Haunter earlier rather than later. Bring in the Haunter, and we do get the Mud Bomb off first before a Haunter charge move comes through, but they do have a shield, so burn that. We don't get the back-to-back, unfortunately, and they're able to switch sneak in a Shadow Claw, so it kind of didn't go great for us. Get this Mud Bomb off though, and it should take out the Haunter. But then we have to get to another Mud. Oh, hang on, that was still a shield in play. I don't know how I missed that, but that's definitely going to take us out. And then Trash Wormadam's going to come in, do a little bit of damage with the Confusion, or you know, get a little bit of energy with the Confusions. We're so low now that that Alolan Muck's going to come in. Even if we got to a charge move, it wouldn't finish it off. So that's actually our first loss, I think, especially with the. Our first loss with Pikachu. That was Pikachu's first loss, which sucks. But in comes the Alolan Muck, and we switch into Skarmory. They switch into Drapion. So not in a great spot here. Again, we're in that Skarmory versus Drapion matchup, but we don't really want to beat. And we 1-1 here. We were on a hot streak. We won 7 gym leader battles in a row. We wanted to make it 8-0. So yeah, we're definitely kind of hoping that maybe we can keep this thing going. Maybe we just don't lose. Don't lose. We'll win the gym battle. We can go into the Elite Four. But we shield with this charge move. And but being take out the Drapion, they do have the shield advantage now though. We will get the switch advantage though, so I guess it's a bit of a tit-for-tat sort of situation. In comes the Alolan Muck, and we just go straight for that Sky Attack. But being boom boom boom. Gets a shield off, so now at least we're on even shields. We had 2 Sky Attacks back to back, so getting another one off. Land does a massive chunk of damage, but we're obviously still in a pretty good bad spot. Mark doing a ton of damage to us, and our quick attacks just weren't adding up enough to be able to prevent that Dark Pulse coming through. We're gonna be, I think we bring in Toxicroak here? Yeah, bring in Toxicroak, just get some energy. In comes that Haunter, and we decide to switch into the Trash Wormadam. Confusion obviously doing tons of damage. Thinking about getting the Mud Bomb off first again, but yeah, just keep that Wormadam in because it doesn't matter too much. Shadow Ball, we can tank it, although it did tons of damage, and Haunter's actually going to take it out before we get a charge move off, so maybe we should have gone for a charge move, although I guess we were able to get some energy on the Toxicroak anyway, so I guess it kind of worked out fine for us anyway. And then able to counter down, and that is GG's. We've just taken out all 8 of the gym leaders. And yeah, so I think let's get into this Elite Four. So Elite Four, who are we up against first? We've got Steel, and we're up against DrTrotter. So DrTrotter was a bit of a pain in my backside, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, kind of as we go. Where he's got Skuntank, Alolan Stunfisk, Jumpluff, Empoleon, Altaria, Skarmory, and Registeel, whereas I've got Azumarill, Mantine, Registeel, Berserker, Swampert, and Hariyama. So the way the Elite Four worked is you had to beat all 4 of them in a row. If you lost against one Elite Four, you had to go back to the start, beat them all again. Yeah, just telling you now, DrTrotter, not my best friend in this in this Aurora challenge. So in comes the Swampert up against the Registeel. So kind of a decent start, looking good. So we do have Sludge Wave, kind of just surprising that Jumpluff maybe if it came in a little bit later. DrTrotter and Fish and the Heater did recently, like before this battle happened, record an episode of The Ring where I did use Sludge Wave Swampert. So I'm thinking that maybe he knows that we had it, maybe. Shield of a Focus Blast, which, you know, it was the big move. He didn't go for a Flash Cannon bait, but because it's Registeel, both charge moves are kind of close to each other anyway, so I think this was actually pre-nerf Registeel as well, so we're hoping to Mudshot all the way down. Unfortunately, that isn't how it played out, so we let this charge move come through. It is just a Flash Cannon though, we're able to tank it, and Mudshot, down it goes. So in comes that Jumpluff, so we're going to go straight for the Sludge Wave, which he does still have 2 shields left, so I don't know if that was the best play to go for, but I was definitely hoping it landed, and it did not land, so that definitely hurt. And I think we were trying to get to another Sludge Wave before. Yep, we were thinking that DrTrotter was going to try and Bullet Seed us all the way down, which he was trying to do. We got this Sludge Wave off. Doesn't do as much damage as I was actually hoping against the Jumpluff. But I think we're going to bring in, bring in the Registeel. No reason to bring in the Azumarill up against that Grass type Jumpluff. Did not want to get hit by an Energy Ball. Tank that Energy Ball, because Registeel does not care about anything that Jumpluff is throwing. So it could really just farm up tons of energy if Registeel didn't kind of hit 100 energy so quick, but yeah, that's how it be sometimes. But go for this Flash Cannon, expecting Jumpluff to just go down at this point. Oh, burning the shield, so really keeping it around. I'm not, maybe just really didn't want to. Oh, in comes Skarmory in the back, so I guess wanted to protect the Skarmory, and does catch the Flash Cannon, so really great catch on DrTrotter's end. Switch into the Azumarill, and we're just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. There's no more shields, just kind of nuke that thing out of existence. Bing, bing, bing. It is just the Sky Attack, not a Flash Cannon, which might have been a little bit more of a concern. But get this Hydro Pump off. Gonna do tons to that Skarmory. And bye Skarmory. And in comes that Jumpluff. Gonna have a little bit of energy, so an Energy Ball definitely gonna hurt at this point. But we shield up, go for this Ice Beam. Unless actually another charge is probably coming through. Ooh, it does come through. If this is another Energy Ball, we may be in some trouble. It is an Energy Ball. We don't hang on, so I'm kind of regretting our decision to use the shield, and able to lock on all the way down, and that's GG. So we've got one game. We've got Registeel up against Alolan, Galarian Stunfisk, which is not a good matchup. So you switch into the Swampert, and Empoleon, not what we were expecting to see, and not really a great matchup for us at all. Hydro Cannon going to do some damage because of the Steel typing, going to at least tank some of it, and then Empoleon, just not a tanky Pokemon, so Hydro Cannon still does some work. Get the shield from that Empoleon. And then I think we shield up here to try and get another one off. Yeah, shield up. And then we're going to go for another one because Mudshot going to be charging up those Hydro Cannons faster than the Waterfalls are. And get the shield though. Okay, so no more shields on the Empoleon's end. And we get another Hydro Cannon off before a charge move comes through. Which kind of means that DrTrotter wasted his shield just there. So definitely puts us in a little bit of a better spot. So in comes the Skarmory. We get switch advantage now and we have the shield advantage. So I think we're going to bring in the Azumarill. I think. Oh, actually, No, we were in the Redisteel because there's a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. We do not want to match up our Redisteel with the Galarian Stunfisk, although maybe in the one shield it would have been okay, actually, because we could have got a Focus Blast off or something. I guess Azumarill is just a better matchup for that in the end anyway. So we get hit by a Flash Cannon, which I'm pretty sure is the wrong move up against Redisteel. Actually, I could be wrong about that. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. But go for another Focus Blast, take out the Skarmory, and then insta-switch into Azumarill, just because we know we're in a good spot here. We have a shield. We can go straight for that Hydro Pump. I think we let this come through knowing that it's going to be a Rock Slide instead of an Earthquake. And then we're just going straight for the Hydro Pump, and it should take out the Galarian Stunfisk, I think. Take another Rock Slide. We might have to burn a shield if another one comes through, just because it, a little bit too close for comfort. Go for the Hydro Pump though, and take out the Galarian Stunfisk, and that is actually 2-0. So I think for runtime I might have only included wins. I was almost certain that I'd included both a loss and a win up against each of the Elite Four and the Champion, but maybe I decided against that. But anyway, the backstory of old DrTrotter is that I think I lost to him once. I beat him the second time. Then I lost to one of the other Elite Four members, and I had to go back and face him again, and I lost, and I lost, and I just kept losing against this guy, even though I already beat him once. But I think I ended up beating him on the 5th go. So I beat him on the 2nd go and the 5th go, so he still actually beat me more than I beat him. In the end, I did push through though. DrTrotter couldn't keep me down for too long. Definitely had me a little bit worried that I wasn't going to finish the challenge within the month period, but it did work out in the end. So going into the second Elite Four member, this is up against Nike64, not Ren and Newman. So yeah, Ludicolo mascot with the Grass and Water team. So we've got Jumpluff, Cherim, Sunny Cherim, Ferrothorn, Whiscash, and Azumarill, and we brought in the Ferrothorn, Articuno, Skuntank, Noctowl, Shiftry, and Venusaur. Squidwell remote now. I'm gonna use that all the time. Okay, but Articuno up against the Ferrothorn, which is actually a decent-ish matchup. And just in case I only included the win here again, I did lose to not Ren Newman the first time and then beat him the second time. So we'll see what this ends up being if we do include just the wins in this video. I'm not sure. We'll find out soon, I suppose. Get that Icy Wind through though, which does do a nice chunk of damage actually. Shield up the Thunder, which is actually a pretty big land. Like, glad it wasn't the Power Whip. Get another Icy Wind off though, thinking that a shield may come up perhaps. Yeah, there's a shield. Looking pretty good here actually. So because that Ferrothorn's debuffed, we can probably let this come through. Even if it's a Thunder, only does that much damage, even though it's super effective. We double debuff that dude. We were and we can quick move all the way down there. That's pretty huge, because we definitely would have had to burn another shield if they were able to get a Thunder off, or even a Power Whip. We probably would have been scared. Get the Icy Wind off onto the Azumarill, and then switch out into the Venusaur. We figured that even if something else came in, we would be able to get Sludge Bombs off to do some nice damage anyway. That Fire Weather Ball does come through really hard though, and charges up so quick with Bullet Seed, so maybe it was the wrong mark on my end. Land the Sludge Bomb though, so massive for us. That actually might have swung the tide of the battle maybe. It could have very well done, because if they successfully shielded that, we wouldn't have been able to get to another one, even shielding a Weather Ball. I don't think we would have got to another one, so I think that might have been a tide changer. In comes the Azumarill though, Ice Beam is away. And then, actually we still have Ferrothorn in the back, so Ferrothorn going to do pretty good here. We can just go straight for the Power Whip, and you'll see that we now are over onto the Flash Cannon. Yeah, Flash Cannon, because we were a little bit worried about grass types like Meganium, so we wanted to have that Flash Cannon there in case. And yeah, take out the Game 1, and going into Game 2, we've got Articuno up against that Sunny Cherim. So switching out straight away, which we were kind of a little bit worried about that lead matchup actually, because the Fire Weather Balls were definitely a little bit scary for us. But they switched to Ferrothorn, and it kind of just brings us into that lead matchup from the first one. So we're kind of like, hey, this plays out fine. I'm kind of happy with this. So go for the Icy Wind and debuff that Ferrothorn. Shield up the Power Whip. And then I'm going to get another Icy Wind off before a Power Whip comes through. Just playing out the exact same as that last game, except we got an extra quick move in at the start. Get a shield there, and then I think we're looking to switch. Maybe catch a Power Whip or a Thunder or something, but didn't end up happening. Let the Thunder come through. Again, it's double debuffed. We knew we can tank it. And we are going to be able to quick move all the way down. Again, just as we did in that last game. So putting us in a really good spot here again. So in comes that Azumarill. Again, we're going to Icy Wind. And we know that they've got Azumarill and Sunny Cherim now. So we actually know their team comp. So the best play is to bring in the Ferrothorn there. Just I was kind of thinking that Sunny Cherim wouldn't have been able to come in yet. But I guess I wanted to get rid of Ferrothorn. bit of a liability when the Cherrim was over there, so kind of happy to get some damage off onto the Cherrim while letting Cherrim take us out. Bullet Seed just isn't going to do anything to us. They have to go for the Fire Weather Ball too, and if they let us get to that power, it would have taken out the Cherrim, so they had to burn their energy as well, so it actually worked out really well for us. Take that out. We'll bring in the Articuno, going to try and quick move down and then get an Icy Wind off onto the Azumarill. Charge move is coming through here, but we're just going to... Ooh, that is the wrong play, I think. Yeah, I definitely think that's the wrong play, because we've got Venusaur in the back. Venusaur would have really liked that shield to protect from an Ice Beam, but I guess we wanted to get the Icy Wind debuff onto the Azumarill to be in a little bit of a better spot anyway. I really don't know if that was the right move, and I feel like that might have cost us the game. Getting hit by an Ice Beam, even debuffed, we're not going to be able to tank 2. They've still got a shield here for the Azumarill. We're not going to get to another Frenzy Plant before that Ice Beam comes through. I think that cost us the whole game, unless Articuno can clean it up in the end. We get the Frenzy Plant off. Wait a... Did not Randy Newman over farm? There's no way that should have happened. There's no way that should have happened. But yeah, turns out I am right. We actually only have the wins here, the final win. So I did lose to not Randy Newman as well. So he was maybe the loss that maybe have to go back to DrTrotter, maybe. So if that is the case, not cool, not Randy Newman. Okay, but going into Elite 4 member numero 3 now, we've got Girafarig is the mascot, so all normal and psychic team. So Obstagoon, Noctowl, Girafarig, Gallade, Deoxys defense form, and the Wigglytuff. And then we brought in the Galarian Stunfisk, Skuntank, Azumarill, Defense Deoxys, Altaria, and Wigglytuff. Going into this next Elite 4 member, Bikini contributing the 1,726 g'days to the total. Okay, so going in with Galarian Stunfisk up against that Gallade. So we're a little bit worried about close combats coming through. We went for the Rock Slide. The wrong move, it doesn't do much damage to Gallade, and they let it go through. It definitely sucks for us. Up against AchillesHero here, by the way, I'm pretty sure, going from their outfit. Yeah, is that right? I think so. Yeah, ScientistMark had... Oh, wait a minute. Are we? Is this ScientistMark? I can't... Who looks like who? I thought... I don't know. But anyway, back into the matchup, we've got Galarian Stunfisk up against that Gallade. And then it is a close combat. Takes it out, unfortunately. And then we're going to bring in the Defense Deoxys, counter all the way down before a charge move comes through. Not that any of them would have been too worrying, I guess. But in comes the Wigglytuff. And this actually isn't a terrible matchup for us. We do have the Psycho Boost, so we're kind of throwing it, hoping that it lands. Maybe we should have gone for a Rock Slide first. Does get the shields. That's kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's shown our hand a little bit that we do have the Psycho Boost. Switch into the Skuntank, and now we're in a kind of a rough spot because Skuntank is not going to do much up against this Obstagoon. Obstagoon's going to be able to get some energy on us. Actually, Sludge Bomb did more than I thought it would. I guess Obstagoon isn't that tanky. Yeah, I guess it isn't that tanky. But are we going to be able to get to a crunch? No, not going to be able to get to a crunch. Bring in the Defense Deoxys. I think we're going to not shield. Oh, we do shield. Oh, and it is a Night Slash, so maybe it's the right play. Counter down, and then in will come back that Wigglytuff. We go for the Psycho Boost, and this was the wrong move because the Psycho Boost is not going to take out Wigglytuff from that health, and it just debuffs us to take even more damage from the charms. Although, actually, maybe it didn't matter because this charge move is coming through anyway. It's a play rough. Maybe it would have taken us out anyway. I don't know because it won the CMP tie, but going into game 2 and we are down 1, so definitely a bit of a panic here. We've got Wigglytuff Mirror Match, and it looks like we might just be letting it go. Nope, we get our Ice Beam off first, so I don't know if they were going for the charge move or if they were going for charm. But they decided to let their Wiggly go down, which is just great for us. Like, it's a no-lose situation for us. In comes the Obstagoon. I think we're going to bring in the Skuntank. I think we're kind of worried that this is going to be another loss though. We really don't want to go 2-0-2 because then we have to go back to the start. Okay, AchillesHero. Sorry, AchillesHero. I was thinking of like, I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. Actually, did I have these out of order? No, I did Fire Ghost last. ScientistMark was Fire Ghost. This is AchillesHero confirmed. So up against the Obstagoon, just gonna shield that cross chop and then hopefully get this Sludge Bomb off like we did in that last battle. We saw how much damage the Sludge Bomb did, and if it goes through, which it did, we actually really needed that. If that didn't go through, we'd be in trouble. Like, I actually think we would be in a major issue there because Obstagoon still would have done heaps of damage to our Galarian Stunfisk. So I think that actually, yeah, I think that was a really bad move, but I think it worked out just because of AchillesHero's decision to not shield. Gets the shield with the Rock Slide though, which is fantastic. Going for another Rock Slide. I'm not... Again, Rock Slide is not going to do much that Glade. I guess we just wanted to get some energy off before a close combat came through, I guess. Are we going to... Yeah, take out the Galarian Stunfisk. In comes that Skuntank. Can we get to a crunch? Didn't even have to. Able to take it out, and we're now 1-1. So going into the final match of the third Elite Four member, AchillesHero, not ScientistMark. Wigglytuff up against that Deoxys, and this can kind of go either way depending on charge moves, shields. It is the Rock Slide, which is kind of plays into their favor. So if they went for a Psycho Boost and we shielded it, that's when it kind of tilts straight into the Wigglytuff's favor. But eating Rock Slide, so it doesn't put us in a terrible spot. I think we're going to go for a charge move here though, just because we were worried. That might have been the wrong play. I think one more charm might have actually done it for us. And they shield, so I wonder if we would have won that matchup without having to burn the energy, and then could have thrown the energy at the next Pokemon. I'm not too sure, but we bring in the Galarian Stunfisk, hoping to get some energy. We did not realize how much energy that Deoxys had. Already getting Rock Slide off. Lucky for us, it's not going to do like much at all. In comes the Obstagoon though, and I'm not sure if that was intentional or if we were trying to switch there. Actually, because it looked like we were trying to switch, and then we're tapping in the same spot, and then Rock Slide came through. Catching the Cross Chop onto the Azumarill. Fantastic catch there. Just going to waste that Obstagoon's energy. Switching into the Wigglytuff now. Not in a great spot just because that Wiggly still has a shield. So I think, well, we want to land the Hydro Pump. And if this gets shielded, I don't know what we do from here. Doesn't get shielded. That is exactly what we needed. Going to be able to bubble down the Wigglytuff. If that got shielded, we would not have been able to get to another Hydro Pump. We would have gone for an Ice Beam, done Stun damage to the Wigglytuff. And then we would have had to bring back in the Galarian Stunfisk to try and do something up against the Obstagoon eventually. Yeah, I don't know how that would have gone, but burning that shield with the Azumarill, coming with the Galarian Stunfisk, I'm hoping this is maybe a Night Slash going for the bait, but they had time. They needed to go for the Cross Chop. I think we go for the Rock Slide here just to get any energy off, because if we went for the Earthquake, another Cross Chop definitely would have come through. Rock Slide doing a ton of damage. Oh, that Obstagoon has energy. Hopefully going for the Night Slash, or I guess Night Slash and Cross Chop. Not going to do super effective damage. We can hang on. Can we bubble down? Simultaneous KO! So we're now 1-1 with a tied third battle. We're going to the fourth battle here with Defense Deoxys up against the Obstagoon, which is a much better spot to be in actually. So I don't know, maybe this is going to turn out much better. So shield up the Night Slash. In comes the Defense Deoxys. We go for the Rock Slide, kind of hoping to maybe get a shield out of the Deoxys, thinking it was going to be a Psycho Boost or something. No shield though, so maybe that was a bad play. Go for another Rock Slide though, another charge move coming through from their side though. We'll see how this plays out. Is a Rock Slide, and then farm up tons of energy, and now going for the Rock Slide. So this Deoxys is absolutely loaded now. Rock Slide isn't going to do that much though, so maybe we're just going for the kind of mirror match. I was about to say that we do have the energy advantage, but you know, with those missed quick moves, maybe that's not the case anymore. I don't know, but yeah, I think we did have a pretty sizable energy advantage. Going for another Rock Slide though. Boom, boom, boom. Take out the Defense Deoxys, keeping both shields. So we'll see. It gives us switch advantage. Not going to bring in the Obstagoon. In comes the Wigglytuff. So can we get the Psycho Boost off? We get the Psycho Boost off. That is so massive for us. It's going to I feel like it's going to take a shield out. Yep, takes the shield off of that Wigglytuff. Takes us down. No worries. We didn't want to keep him around anyway. Now we're going to bring in the Galarian Stunfisk in a great spot up against Wiggly. In comes the Obstagoon. We've got Wigglytuff in the back. Wigglytuff just going to take out his Obstagoon. He's got Cross Drop and Night Slash, so we've got no reason to worry. Goes for the Cross Drop. Does some damage, not heaps. And then Wiggly, going to come back in a little bit of a mirror. So his Wiggly is going to come out on top. Does still have a shield. Going to be able to get a charge move off onto our Stunfisk, but it is Stunfisk. And Galarian Stunfisk doesn't care too much about any of Wiggly's charge moves. So we're in a pretty good spot here. Eat the Ice Beam. We don't think we can Mud Shot down. So we charge up to 2 Rock Slides because they've got 1 shield. So we have to burn the first shield with this first Rock Slide. And then get the next Rock Slide off, which will take out that Wigglytuff. And after 4 battles, that will be GG's and winning up against 3 of the 4 Elite Four members. So going into the final Elite Four member, ScientistMark. So up against ScientistMark, Azumarill up against the Blaziken. So we are going to be, we're going to be in a pretty good spot here no matter what comes in. In comes the Sableye. Looks like we didn't actually have Play Rough, so we decided to bring in the Umbreon. Just going to do a little bit better, and then going to keep Azumarill for the other fire types later on. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned that I lost to AchillesHero first also. I lost to all the Elite 4 members except ScientistMark. ScientistMark with the Fire Ghost definitely had a rough type to defend. I think I might be in a similar spot this month, but again, we're talking about all of that at the end. So eat a Power Gem. Umbreon doesn't care too much. Super tanky. Charges up a little bit of extra energy, 1 extra Snarl, maybe it was 2, but get the Foul Play off and this will take out the Sableye. Down it goes. In comes the Blaziken, and we can get a Foul Play off before it comes through. That's actually, that's nice. Good job, Umbreon. You did well. And in comes the Azumarill, just going straight for the Ice Beam, just because Blaziken is kind of squishy, put some pressure on it, especially now that it has some energy, and they do decide to shield. Are we trying to switch out? No, it doesn't look like it. So, yeah. Let this come through. It is a Stone Edge, so like the worst possible move, like, you know, in your standard Blaze Kick, Blast Burn, Stone Edge, which like they're the main 3 that Blaziken's gonna be running. Even Focus Blast would be worse, but get another Ice Beam off, take out the Blaziken. In comes the Drifloon, so we switch into the Galarian Stunfisk, just so that we didn't like let Drifloon get heaps of energy while Azumarill didn't do much. These Rock Slide's gonna do tons. Even if a Shadow Ball comes through from this Drifloon, we're not too concerned. Do decide to burn the shield though. Probably an icy win. Yeah, it's an icy win. It still had 2 shields, so probably should have expected it maybe, but kind of wanted to keep this Galarian Stunfisk around anyway. So boom, boom, boom. Get these Rock Slides off going. We are debuffed now, so that Rock Slide didn't do as much as it would be ideal, but I think even if this is another Icy Wind... Oh, it's a Shadow Ball, actually, never mind. So definitely got baited there, but I was wondering if maybe we would have still been able to take it out anyway with another Rock Slide. Yeah, I'm not sure, but take it out, go into game 2. So Umbreon up against Sableye for the win up against the entire Elite 4. Charge up extra energy again. Even if Sableye got to move off first, nothing's going to take out Umbreon. So this Foul Play just going to go to a nice home in half of Sableye's damage bar. So let this Power Gem come through. Yowcha. Not really Yowcha, doesn't do much. Go for the Foul Play now though. I'm assuming they're going to let Sableye go down. Yeah, let it go down. Or almost, because it's not going to do too much to Umbreon. Bring in something else that does more damage, like Blaziken. Going to be able to farm up some energy on us here. Go for the Last Resort. I was wrong. Should have gone straight Foul Play. Last Resort is less efficient just completely. We get a shield though, so I guess it ended up... Oh, nope, never mind. We would have got 2 Foul Plays if I didn't go for the Last Resort. I don't know why I went for the Last Resort. It's just the wrong move. It was just silly of me. But in comes the Azumarill. Shield up the Stone Edge, which is definitely nice. In comes the Alolan Marowak, and decide to switch, or we're trying to switch, into the Galarian Stunfisk. Just because, I mean, Galarian Stunfisk is going to have a bad matchup up against the Blaziken. Still going to be doing super effective Rock Slides to the Alolan Marowak, and then Azumarill is just looking really good up against both. So even if Galarian Stunfisk gets taken out, we're still looking good with Azumarill. So Fire Spin going to do some damage. Bone Club's doing some damage. And this shouldn't... Oh, we actually better start to burn the shield so we can get this Rock Slide off. Bang, 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 bang. And take out the Alolan... Oh, never mind. 1 HP in a dream. Getting this Bone Club off. Gonna take... Doesn't really matter because Azumarill is going to come in. Get 1 extra bubble. In will come the Blaziken. Get his Hydro Pump off just to quickly finish out. And with that, that is going to take out the entire Elite 4. Even DrTrotter. So... GG's to all of the Elite 4 and the Gym Leaders. Now we are on to the Champion, Anisotropic. So up against the Champion, it was a best of 5 instead of the best of 3s that we were doing with all of the Gym Leaders and the Elite 4. So as a result, we've just included the winning best of 5. So I lost twice up against Anisotropic, and then this is game 3. So each round 3, day 3 of trying to beat Anisotropic. So after day 1, I knew their team, and I still just couldn't beat them. I mean, it was the same situation with DrTrotter too, even after I actually beat him once. But yeah, so this is our 3rd iteration of the team. I know in our second go, we had the wrong moveset on our Alolan Muck. It wasn't what we tried to use. It was the Acid Spray Sludge Wave set that we used way up against the Fairy Gym earlier on. So this is our final team. We've got Azumarill, Defense Deoxys, Whiscash, Meganium, Shiftry, and Alolan Muck up against the team of Galarian Stunfisk, Jirachi, Azumarill, Defense Deoxys, Shiftry, and Registeel. So let's find out how we did, shall we, in this best of 5. And I'll tell you right now, it does go down to the wire. So boom, 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 in we go. Defense Deoxys up against Shiftry. Kind of a decent starting matchup. We're going to do tons of damage with the counter. Foul plays are definitely going to hurt. We can probably tank one though, maybe. We decided to shield the first charge move. It is a foul play, so we won't shield bait or anything, which is nice. In comes the Azumarill, and we decide to go for the Thunderbolt just to put some damage onto that Azumarill. I don't know if we had to, because we are going to be switching into the Shiftry now. Does do a ton of damage, but we get this Leaf Blade off before an Ice Beam can even possibly come through from the Azumarill. And boom, it doesn't quite take it easy. Oh, getting a charge move off. Snarl, maybe if we had Bullet Seed, actually would have swung the tide there. And oh, I guess it doesn't. It might be better for us because now the Shiftry is low. Actually, Red is still coming in. Yeah, maybe it was better off. Shiftry's kind of low. Actually, if the Red Steel is going to be able to lock on us down, which I think it might be able to. Ooh, we do get 2 charge moves, a Leaf Blade, and a foul play off those, so maybe kind of worked out alright, actually. Definitely done a chunk of damage off of that Red Steel. We're going to bring back in the Defense Deoxys, I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, no, we're keeping that for Shiftry later on, I think. Because Azumarill doesn't want to see Shiftry. So yeah, bring in Azumarill now. Don't tell me you're going to switch. Don't switch, Steve. Don't switch. Good job. But keeping in, we've got Ice Beam, Play Rough on this Azumarill. So, you know, not the best Registeel hunting set. Looks like because of that, we farmed up tons of energy for the Azumarill to maybe get Ice Beams off onto Shiftry later on. We'll see if that does pay off. We go for this Rock Slide here. Gets a shield off of an Isotropic. Great, we've still got to burn one more shield. That Shiftry is really low now, actually, so I think we're going to not burn a shield here. It is a Leaf Blade bait, and that is exactly what we needed. I'm wondering if... Actually, yeah, going for the Rock Slide is the right move because we're going to be able to get that last... Ooh, never mind, letting it go down. I guess an Isotropic knew that he was going down there. Maybe you can let me know in the chat. But going into game 2, we've got Shiftry up against Azumarill. And now it's switching into Doxy, so it's kind of like the flip of what we had in that last battle. So going for the foul play straight away. Does burn the shield, so it doesn't want to be like, well, thinks that I'm not going to make the same mistake as him at the end of that last game, I suppose, going for the Leaf Blade bait. But in comes the Alolan Muck, and we're still in a pretty good spot here, especially now that we have the correct charge moves that we did not have in the previous one. So going for the Dark Pulse, boom, doesn't quite take out the Defense Deoxys, and it is going to be able to get a charge move off. Rock Slide, going to come through here, not going to finish off Alolan Muck, not too worried. Maybe, yeah, going to be able to snarl down, have a ton of energy to go onto this Azumarill, going straight for the Sludge Wave. Let's get this Sludge Wave off. Can we land it? Can we land it? Aww, come on. What? Come on, an Isotropic, don't ruin the fun. But yeah, gonna, in comes something. I have no idea. Yeah, in comes Azumarill. I guess, because that Shiftry. We don't want to see Azumarill versus Shiftry ever, at all. Never. Ever. But we decided to let this Leaf Blade come through, and I think we're going to go for the Leaf Blade too, because, you know, we're close to getting 2. The more charge moves, the better. So get this first Leaf Blade off. Doesn't quite do much, but get another Leaf Blade off, and we do get CMP tie, maybe? I don't know if that was CMP or what, but I know we have a high attack stat. Okay, maybe it wasn't, because we got another quick move in anyway. We decided to shield up there. I'm thinking that maybe we think we can snarl down and then maybe get a foul play off onto the Deoxys. Unfortunately, not quite enough energy, so we have to go... Oh, wait, it's an Azumarill in the back. The Deoxys went down earlier, guys. Didn't you catch that? Didn't you catch that? But we're in a great spot here. We're about to go 2-0 up against an Isotropic, but again, it's a best of 5. So don't get too quick to jump into Steve's got this. This was the first time out of the 3 attempts that I did win the first 2 battles. That had not happened prior, so we'll see how we do going into game 3. Shiftry up against Deoxys, and I think we'll pause after this game too. But we're going to go for the foul play. Just going to kind of play this Shiftry Deoxys matchup. It's actually happening heaps. I guess it means that both of us like the 2 Pokemon, I guess. But going for doesn't quite get the foul play off before a charge move comes through. We would have to shield to get that charge move off. We decided to let it go down in favour of bringing in the Alolan Muck. Just because we were thinking foul play wasn't going to be able to take out the Deoxys anyway. Counter was going to be able to farm us down after we landed it. So it was, in the end, it was kind of just better to go for the Alolan Muck, farm up a ton of energy, go for this Dark Pulse, and boom, take out Deoxys. Looking alright here, except in comes Registeel. And again, we don't have Hydro Pump, and we just switched into Azumarill, and in comes Shiftry. So we do have Ice Beam, which is okay. Ice Beam's good. So we tank an Ice Beam, tank a Leaf Blade, go for this Ice Beam. Shiftry's pretty squishy, so an Ice Beam does do a fat chunk. Get that last shield though. And we really want to get this Ice Beam off, but I'm kind of feeling like Shifty's going to be able to get 2 Leaf Blades off before we could get the Ice Beam off, so we'd actually let Azumarill go down. In comes the Alolan Muck and get this Sludge Wave off, thinking that it's probably going to take out the Shiftry. Yep, the only problem is now we've got Registeel in the back. Registeel doesn't really care about Alolan Muck at all. We do let a Flash Cannon come through instead of a Focus Blast, but it did so much damage that, yeah, this is rough, and this is going to be a GG's against us. Yowcha. And lock on us away, and that is GG. So we are now 2-1 up against an Isotropic. We've got 2 battles to go. Did I just spoil the result of this battle? I think I might have done that earlier when I said that it was going to be to the wire. But Meganium. First time we're seeing Meganium in this battle, actually. Up against the Registeel, which is not a bad place to be if we can land this Earthquake. So eat a Flash Cannon, which, you know, maybe isn't the best. Unfortunately, let a Lock On sneak through while we get this Frenzy Plant off. Get the shield, and then going to be able to get to an Earthquake if we burn a shield here. Come on now, we can do it, Meganium. We can take out the nasty Registeel. Yeah, go Meganium, go. Get the Earthquake off. And take out tons of damage off of that. Oh, lag. Please don't let lag switch this thing. I would be very tilted if that did not go our way. We do get the Frenzy Plant off, and an Isotropic lets it go through. In comes the Deoxys. We don't get the Frenzy Plant off. Never mind. I didn't want to get the Frenzy Plant off. That was actually strategic. I just wanted to let Deoxys be healthy and have lots of energy. We bring in the Alolan Muck here. Not going to be too worried about those charge moves coming through. We're going to be able to get this Dark Pulse off, or switching into a Azumarill. That is such a brilliant switch from an Isotropic's end. Sludge Wave would have done heaps of damage, but Dark Pulse does nothing. Wasting my time and all of that energy. So bring in the Deoxys, just because we kind of want to keep that Alolan Muck for maybe later on, and at least Deoxys is going to be able to get some Thunderbolts off. We shielded the Hydro Pump, which is, I mean, pretty lucky on our part. I think it was just luck. Luck is everything. Get the Thunderbolt off. We kind of want to bring this Azumarill low enough that a Alolan Muck is going to be able to farm some energy on it, and I'm kind of thinking that might not happen. Goes for the Ice Beam, so we don't have a shield, so maybe they know that they want us to take out the Azumarill so that we didn't get to farm it with Alolan Muck, because now in comes the Fence Deoxys. Alolan Muck in the back doesn't have too much energy. We get this Rock Slide off, which isn't going to do much damage at all. Like, an Isotropic's Deoxys is basically guaranteed to be able to take ours out. And unfortunately, we switch into Muck trying to get that Dark Pulse off, and an Isotropic lands the Rock Slide. So I guess it actually didn't matter anyway, really, because they still had a shield. An Isotropic's holding onto that shield, ready for that Dark Pulse, and it is now it's 2-2 now, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into the final battle of the entire Aurora Challenge. Into the final battle. Will we, the mighty, the handsome, the PvP Steve, be able to take out the evil, the devilish Isotropic in that champion spot? Well, I guess you've probably seen the title of the stream or the video at this point. Let's get into this battle. So, Deoxys versus Registeel. Great lead for us. We're in the real good spot here. Counter doing tons of damage to that Steel type Registeel. And not too worried about the charge moves coming through. I think we let this first one come through. Flash Cannon we can tank. We decided to go for the Thunderbolt. I don't actually know for sure what the better moveset is, because actually you can now see that the Deoxys does have 2 moves, and I think I literally double moved it for the battles against an Isotropic, and I wasn't prepared. Wait, did we have Psycho Boost? Oh, that was against a different Elite 4 member. So we bring in the Meganium, who can tank an Ice Beam, so we're kind of using that to our advantage. Farmed up heaps and heaps of energy before we go for the Frenzy Plant here. Doesn't quite take out the Azumarill, so we're going to have to burn a shit. Ooh, never mind. Not getting a charge move off, so I'm not sure if an Isotropic was going for... I don't know what an Isotropic was going for. Maybe they weren't at the Ice Beam yet. Apparently I've been wrong about Azumarill in this video already. But yeah, in comes the Meganium, and just going to... I think we might let shield up here. Ooh, no, letting it go through. I thought maybe we would shield up and then try and Bind Whip down and have heaps of energy go onto the next Pokemon, but in comes Deoxys and in comes that Shiftry, so we have tons of energy, and an isotropic is basically forcing us to shield here because we had so much energy stored up and we hadn't thrown any of it. So now finally throwing it, we don't want to like be forced to burn both shields straight away. So if Flag's gonna let it go through, get the shield, and then we should be able to get to another one before that charge move comes through. Well, Shiftry probably going for the snarl down at this point. Shield there, and then switch into the Alolan Muck just because we didn't want to give Shiftry that like extra one snarl shield, and then maybe we can use Deoxys as some sort of sack swap later on. Eat a Leaf Blade, doesn't care too much, and then go for the Dark Pulse, but in comes the Registeel, so that was actually a swap there, which I don't know if I caught at the time, but taking out the Registeel, so definitely an absolutely brilliant sack swap. Unfortunately for an Isotropic at this point, I think it's just insurmountable, and I'm going to be able to take this game kind of going for the Dark Pulse. Actually, did we switch? Yeah, we switched over the Sludge Wave, kind of overkill at this point, but is going to be able to take out Shiftry and win the Aurora Challenge into the Pokemon Hall of Fame with our Ash Hat Pikachu. So thank you to all of the gym leaders, the Elite Four, an Isotropic for all of the battle. Oh, okay, we'll let it play out back. So yeah, thank you all for the battles, especially that, you know, all the people who beat me, even DrTrotter. And thank you to all for people watching on Twitch and also YouTube later on. But hey, we were able to take it out, and we've got an Ash Hat Pikachu. We did have to leave our Ash Hat Pikachu at the door a little bit when we went into the Elite Four. And unfortunately, I was just getting beat too hard, and the rules where you had to beat all Elite Four in a row kind of held me back a little bit on the Pikachu front. But we made it, Pikachu, we made it. And so yeah, the Aurora Challenge going to be a little bit different this month. So I'm actually going to grab the invite link for the Arena Australis Discord channel, because that's the first step that you need to be in to be able to invite people. Copy link and paste into Twitch. So if you aren't in that Arena Australis Discord already, definitely go hop in there. It is the place to be for all Aussie and New Zealand PvP action going on. And alright, so here's how the Aurora Challenge is going to be different this month. So obviously you saw me using a different team of 6 for each gym leader, a different team of 6 for each Elite Four, and then a team of 6 for an Isotropic champion at the end. So, and you had to beat all the Elite Four in a row. That was the only extra special rule, I think. But the difference this month is that you're going to have to use a single team of 12 to beat the entire 8 gym leaders. And each of those gym leaders is going to be able to ban 2 of your Pokemon. So, you know, you've still got, they're a grass gym leader. They're going to have all grass Pokemon. You can bring 12 Pokemon that have to be rounded out enough that you can beat all of the 8 gym leaders, 8 different typings, while also having each of them ban 2 of your Pokemon for that specific round up against them. So, you know, if you only have 2 Pokemon that can beat water types, you might be in a little bit of trouble if they ban both of those Pokemon that can beat water types. So it's definitely a little bit harder. And not only that, you can then bring in a different team of 12, same situation for the Elite Four, and then another, I'm assuming it's a set of, actually I don't know how the, Fish, can you tell me how the champion works? Is it another best of, another pick 12 situation? I'm clicking the pinned messages now actually. After obtaining 8 badges, you'll reach the first checkpoint. The champion is same as last month. Oh, standard 6v6 best of 5 against the champion. There you go. I should have studied up on that before doing this video. But yeah, so standard 6v6 up against the champion, who is still an Isotropic. So you know, maybe an Isotropic has switched up his team this month, maybe he hasn't. But you'll also find me on that roster, so I'll be one of the Elite Four battlers. So if you beat all of the 8 gym leaders, I'll be waiting there in the Elite Four, ready to try and crush some dreams like DrTrotter crushed mine over and over and over. But yeah, so definitely if you are not already on that server and you want to get in on the action, definitely give it a join. Thank you to my patrons, Mr. 448, brajSF, Negative Ben 10, Not Running Human, Yahwertle and SqeakyNL for supporting the channel on Patreon. And thank you to Sadie Poo for the emote, which is, you know, really cool. Everyone's loving it in the chat here, and ready for Raid 44 Maze for the, the top subscriber gifting thingy thing. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video whenever and whatever that may be. I mean, new Silph Cup probably coming soon. And yeah, bye.